Okay. Okay, I'm recording now. So Josh Coates, I talked to them after the call last week, and he's willing to do training with us at half of his usual cost. If we can commit to 25 people this week, and a lot of you have already messaged me, and I have a list who pay by Monday the 11th. So I would have to send him the cost for the group. Now, it's $100 per person. And the cool thing about this training is, yes, we do like a Zoom call on a Monday, and it's recorded, so you can go to our private site and you can watch that Zoom call. And what he's giving you is homework for the week, action steps. So it's not just like a you have a lot of training and then good luck. He's actually giving you homework to implement through the rest of the week. So you have 7 days to do these things. Then the next week we get together and we have another video time. And he said, it could be a short video, it could be a long, we're spending time together. He's opening it up and he's present for you guys to ask questions. He's making himself available for our team. So for those 4 weeks, it's so funny because I was reading some of the comments of people who have done this with him, and it was just a mindset thing. People who have been Emerald coaches for over a year, all of a sudden we're going Diamond in a week because it was just putting these action steps into practice, like really tangible things. And what's even better is it's duplicatable with your team. These action steps, these calls, this mindset stuff, this vision we're going to talk about today is stuff that you can teach your new coaches as they're getting started, to have vision, to have that mindset, to wake up and say, you know what? This is hard, and what's the alternative? Like, this is something I've got to learn. This is something I'm going to have to do to grow. And that shouldn't be something that halts you. It should be something that empowers you and gets you excited. I know the direction I want to go. I know the steps I need to take. I'm going to take them, and we're going to grow through it, and we're going to move forward. So this training is, like I said, $100 per person. You're not paying me. So I am going to he asked me to collect the money and then give him one bulk thing instead of all these transactions. So that made sense to me. So I'm going to set up a PayPal link or privately message those who have commented that they want to be a part of the training, and we'll get going. But we need to have that 25 people committed this week and paid up by Monday the 11th. So as you guys are watching this recording, if you can't be live today, message me if you want to participate, and I will make sure. I will post a list of the people probably this weekend just to make sure I haven't missed anybody, because like I said, some people commented under the post, some people private messaged me, and I have cryptic notes in my awesome, really high-tech filing system that I use called a Spiral, and I have to go back and look through my notes. That's just how I roll. So I wanted to talk to you guys in shifting about vision, and I realize our team calls have been less about training on Success Club, but I really feel like it needs to be that way because you guys know. Success Club is a vital behavior. Well, it is. It's not one of the 4, but it is a non-negotiable in our businesses for growth. You know that, sharing and inviting and hosting challenge groups and being a product of the product, you guys know that. Every time we get together, we hear a call, we listen to the national wake-up call. That's what we hear because those are the things that build a business. So what I want to do as a team is get to the stuff that isn't talked about. This stuff that is super important to cover that perhaps is a little bit more touchy-feely, because that's where I grow. That's where I want to see growth in my coaches and my team, is that mindset. I'm going to quote some different things and read from Jen Hatmaker's book, because she kind of hits the nail on the head about some things, and it's not just applicable to women, it's to men as well. This chapter is called Women. Backtracking, I think this is a issue across the board with the entire network. You've seen Carl sharing in the live call that he did yesterday, firing everybody up. That was great. If you want to see it, go to his wall. He has a recording there that Carl did yesterday. He was taking calls from coaches and questions and just talking about kind of the slump. But here's the thing. When we go through a slump, it's us. It's us deciding, it's a slump. I'm just going to embrace that. And I just have to understand that everyone's going through a slump, and so I must be normal. But here's the thing. We're not called to be normal. We're not called to just be a part of the group. We're called to stand out. We're called to be a light and to shine brightly and to do something different and to be that different voice and that person that people gravitate towards because we are saying something and doing something and being something that really shines a light to them. So I don't want that to be an excuse that, oh, I just slump and, all that stuff. Summer Tucker shared on the wall, which is 5-star and above, like a 30-minute just preach because she was saying, you guys, what we're lacking is vision. And you're like, okay, great. What does that mean? So I really started thinking about this after I listened to Summer and I talked to her actually. And it's something that, we've kind of talked about mindset and having a goal and being on the journey, and there will be potholes and there will be twists and turns, and you keep focusing on the journey, right? So that's the same thing with vision. And she said, I never stop sharing my vision. And she gets so specific. She's like, you guys, I share that I want a farm with chickens, with place for my kids to run. I share that that's my vision for my family. I want to raise godly kids. I want to, erect homes in Haiti. I want to do all these things. That's my vision. I share that nonstop. So I started to think, do I really share my vision? Do I really even know what that is? Can I really look back 4 years ago and say, I had a vision for where I wanted to go? And the answer is no. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I know that as coaches, we get so stressed out and so caught up in, well, I've done my invites today and so said no, and I'm doing this, and everyone is, giving excuses, and we get bogged down in that. But don't forget that you guys have a vision and a reason that you are coaches. Focus on that. Keep sharing that. Don't get so like, oh my gosh, I need to do more invites. Yes, we need to invite and we need to share, but we need to share more than just the fitness part. We need to share more than just the business part, even though we need to share the business part all the time, because that's what helps us get to our vision. We've got to be sharing our vision. We've got to be sharing where we want to go with this. Why am I a coach? Because I can clearly see that God has me here for a purpose on this path, because He's taking me down this road to this place. And He's given me this desire to fill in the blank. Stay at home, replace an income, be present for my family, have more vacations, give back to organizations, whatever that is. You guys have to focus on that vision. And that has to be at the forefront of everything that you do. So I sit here in this window because it has the best light, but holy heck, it's hot. It's like, oh my God. So I'm gotta rethink where I do these videos, because I'm just like, sweat's pouring down my shirt and I just showered and I'm like, well, that was lame. So the thing that, and I hope not to go all over the place, and I'm gonna mess with my hair because it's on my neck and I'm hot. I remember making excuses for my lack of vision. Somebody said, what's your dream? I totally think of that pretty one. What's your dream? What's your dream? It's Hollywood. Everyone has a dream. It's Beachbody. Everyone has a dream. Everyone becomes a coach for a reason. Whatever that is, it's yours. It's your why, your vision, your dream. I didn't have that. I wanted to be a part of something. I wanted to belong. I wanted to have a place that I could call mine, that I felt like wasn't the military. And honestly, I was really resentful of the military and the fact that I had been given the freedom to have a dream. And I was so focused on that I decided I wasn't allowed to have dreams. I wasn't allowed to have vision. So that became my excuse, my self-limiting behavior. I can't have dreams. I'm not allowed to. Well, who said? Well, every time I try to do something for myself, we get moved. So why is that stopping you? And that was my excuse. And so I wrote down a couple that I know I hear all the time. And these are excuses for our lack of vision. You'll hear them with your challengers. You'll hear them with people who, they're like, oh gosh, I really am excited about this. This is time. I'm ready to get healthy. Then you have that conversation with them and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to be traveling for the next month. And, my kid has a softball tournament this weekend. And I'm just like, is there ever going to be a time in your life when you don't have something going on? I can honestly say no. Because even when I think there's a lull, something happens. So there's never a perfect time to do anything, especially for yourself. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, Well, that's great, but why don't we talk about how you're going to get started after that and have that program staring in your face so you're ready to go after you get home from that softball tournament or whatever it is. Softball's just on my brain right now. Okay, so those excuses for not having vision. My life is crazy right now. I can't think about that. I can't think that far into the future. I can only think about today and the chaos of summer. But here's the thing. Once summer is over, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to hit you because you didn't have the vision to think ahead, to think, what am I going to do in September, October, November, December, next year? Where do I want to be this time next year? Where do I want to be, my business, my family? Where do I want to live? What are the things we want to plan? Honestly, with my family, we're already planning next year because my husband will come home and we're going to have time together. If I wait until the last minute, it'll be too late. I've got to have vision right now for what we want to do as a family, and I've got to plan it, and I've got to work towards that and give myself a goal. So that's what vision does. It kind of makes everything clear. I have a vision for where I want to go. Now I've got to do the walking and take the steps to get there. This is going along with Josh Coates' stuff as well. So he's giving you the steps. But you've got to look and break it down into bite-sized pieces. That means showing up every day. That means sharing that vision with other people because they're going to go, oh my gosh, that's my dream too. I don't know how to tackle it. I'm going to watch her and see what she's doing. And they're going to come to you and say, thank you so much for being inspiring. I want to do what you're doing because you've inspired me to believe that I can do that. By sharing that, you are opening the door for somebody else to have faith in themselves, to have vision that they've never allowed themselves to have because you are brave enough and open enough to share it because you don't care what anybody else thinks. And if you do care, you're suppressing it because your vision is so clear and your why is so big that you could care less what the people on the sidelines have to say because they're not in the arena with you. They're just standing on the sidelines making comments. Okay, second excuse. I don't know what's going to happen, so I can't think that far. Kind of like the same thing, but that's that whole self-limiting behavior. That was that whole, I don't know when we're going to get orders. I don't know if we're going to have a job. I don't know if I'm a what-ifer, or I was. I don't know. I don't have a plan, therefore I won't make a plan. And that's like crippling. So you see, you're just making excuses. The last one I wrote down was, I don't know how. Someone today, I was talking to her, and she is a dear friend of mine, and she told me, I would love to do what you do someday. I just have to get through. She had some really big things in her life happening, and I got it, And I saw that she signed up with Rodan and Fields. And so I messaged her, and I was like, is this a new thing? I mean, that's great. Congratulations. And I said, honestly, I was excited about you joining our team because you said you wanted to be a Beachbody coach. She said, now this is self-limiting behavior. This is not having vision for yourself. Well, I can't duplicate what you did. Who says? And I didn't do it. Like I said, I showed up to a summit because I wanted to be a part of a community. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't understand that people would come into my life because I was sharing and all that. I didn't know this team was going to become as large as it is. I didn't know that you people would be on this call already leading. I didn't know any of that. I just knew that I needed to do something more, period. And it starts that basic. I didn't have a vision. I just knew that I wanted to help people, and I just knew that I wanted to show up every day because it was so fulfilling to have those conversations. Because those thank you for reaching out to me. This is awesome. Those conversations and those relationships were so fulfilling and still are today. And they wouldn't have happened had I not taken that first step. Not because I wanted to compare myself to somebody else or be like somebody else or walk somebody else's road. I wanted to walk my own road. I just didn't know where that was going to take me. And so, vision for the journey, for your body, for your mind. I want you guys to really think about, and I don't want you to be like, this is so weird. I really want you to think about, the sky is the limit. Where would I want to be this time next year? What's my vision? Okay? I'm not saying that just because you speak it, it's going to happen. This isn't a name it, claim it kind of thing. But I am saying the first step to growth is acknowledging where you want to go instead of just walking around blindly, instead of just allowing things to happen. Be proactive, not reactive. Understand what you need to do every morning to make things happen. And I will tell you, quite honestly, the last couple of months have sucked. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'm not going to come up with another word. There are mornings when I wake up and I'm like, I have nothing to say because I'm so emotionally tired from this deployment, from life, from everything. And it is a conscious decision to get over it because I know that that place leads nowhere. That place is a lonely, dead, dreary place. And here's the thing that really gets me. That kind of pulls me out of my funk. There's a reason we're all here. You, me, everybody on this team. God put us here for a reason. If I allow my own insecurities, my own self-doubt, I am putting a lid on his box. I am saying, I really don't want what you have to give me today. I'm all right. I'm good here. And you might be ready to show me something amazing, but I'm just going to stay in bed and wallow in my own self-pity. If I show up, he does great things. He does amazing things. He brings conversations. He brings fulfillment, and he allows me to invest in other people. That pulls me out of my funk. It's that whole when you're other focused and you are helping other people, your problems seem so small. They're not at all worthy of the attention that you've been giving them. So there's that. Okay. And that goes along with my next point, which is says you have to have the right mindset to succeed, to grow, to invite, to show up. And, we've talked about our personal development, which is so huge. And I won't tell you this book is the best for this and this book is the best for this because there's so many personal development books that just are kicking my tail right now. And I kind of have PD, ADD. Like a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here. And I really want to focus on getting the most out of a book, but I seriously have like 5 audiobooks open and I dabble and I dabble and I glean and I pull and it's okay. I'm learning as I go, but then I'm a part of a chat group where they're like, did you read this? Oh no, I read this. And I'm like, could seriously get a little crazy with Amazon if I did that. But filling your mind every day with that growth, with that positivity, with that encouragement that you need, that other people are not going to give you. You've got to take the time for yourself. You've got to show up and do that for yourself. And so those are the things that, like the Miracle Morning, showing up and just having affirmations that you share with yourself, having partners that you work with to encourage you, having small groups that you're working with, Happiness Project, all these things. If you write them down, you can look them up. I'll share a template for the Happiness Project. You can do a free group with the Happiness Project, just with random people who, like us, need to focus on the good instead of the bad, instead of the negative, instead of blah, blah, blah. We need all those people around us to kind of fill us up. So I just want, get a little frazzled here. And I seriously am just sweating like a pig. The vision is something that I think we are lacking as a company, as coaches, because we're getting so locked into, well, this is just a bad season. Well, this is just that before summit slump. No, it's not. It's our lack of vision and our lack of showing up and our lack of doing it exponentially more. It really is. I truly believe that, because I know for myself, if I don't put in the time, I see it reflected in our team. I see it reflected in my own business, my own personal growth. If I'm truly investing in myself and my team and having those invitations and having those conversations, I never feel like there's a slump because I'm constantly having more conversations and constantly pumping the well, constantly growing, constantly having calls, constantly. There's never a lull. There's never a slump. Now, the timing of people might not be my timing, but goodness, if you just keep doing that consistency, that vision of where you want to go and keep marching that way, you will have people consistently coming back into your life in the timing that is perfect. You know, a message that I posted 3 weeks ago, I got a lady randomly out of the blue saying, I want to be one of your coaches. I don't know where she came from. No clue. Seriously, this message was like 3 weeks ago, and it's been floating around, and she finally saw it because she's a flight attendant and doesn't get to be on Facebook very much. So I'm going to talk to her after this. She's deadheading to Las Vegas. And she's just like, I love how encouraging you are. You keep popping up on my screen every day. Think about if I'd stayed in bed. Think about if you'd stayed in bed and wallowed in whatever it is that is happening in your life right now that is a season. You are going to get through this. But showing up daily and at least filling your head with that positivity and having that mindset and having that vision for where you want to go, that's going to serve you in the long run. Not just accepting the fact that it's a busy season, my kids are busy, we're traveling a lot, whatever. And so the other thing that I really wanted to make sure that we don't focus on are the lies that people tell us. And Monica posted a really cool devotional today on our Made to Thrive team page. And one of the things that it talked about was the lies that we hear about successful people, about women, about entrepreneurs, about whomever. Everyone's going to have their opinion. A lot of the time, those opinions are ignorance. You know, if you still have people coming to you talking about how Beachbody is a pyramid scheme, they're ignorant because they don't know what they're talking about. And they've just listened or read some random thing from like 7 years ago. And that's really how I, feel about that. But if we believe that others, believe lies that others tell us that we've heard through social media, here are some of them. You need to be fill in the blank. Educated, you need to be a woman, you need to be a stay-at-home mom for this to be successful, you need to be a certain size, you need to be a certain look, you need to be, really, it can go on forever. The things that you need to be an expert in social media, you need to be an expert in doing graphics and in network marketing, whatever, you have to be an expert. No, you don't. You have to have a vision and a passion, and you have to have a goal, and you have to have that drive in you to show up every day. That's all you really have to have. And it's funny because we hear people say, this business is actually pretty simple. You work out, you drink Shakeology, you talk about how it affects you, you invite people to join you, you share, you encourage them. Like, it's a natural flow, right? Where do we get hung up that we have to be anything other than us? What is it when we're frustrated and we're looking at what somebody else is doing that's so much better than us? Oh, I got to be like that because she's doing really well. We just focus on how awesome we are and the gifts that we have. I think we'd be feeling pretty darn cool and successful in what we're doing. But when we gravitate away from that and we forget to invest back in the people who came to us because we're us, that's where we lose sight of everything. That's where we lose sight of who we are. Cami commented on this because somebody had messaged me and said, gosh, it must be really easy for you to do this business because of the way you look. And I was like, wow, never thought about it that way because, I wear makeup like once a week and I barely shower and, my hair's clean, but it's kind of straw-like and I just show up because it's me. And she's judging me based on my looks? That stinks, right? Because I think some of the most successful people, I don't know where I was going with that. You don't have to look a certain way to be successful. You don't have to be a certain size or weight or gender or height to be successful. And so, I just said, don't discount the journey, sister. It takes a lot of work to build muscle, to create change in your body. And some people are like genetically blessed. I'm not. If you look at my family, we all work very hard, but I had to make a conscious decision in my life years ago to change, or else I have no idea what I would look like, how I would feel, what medical problems I would still have. I wouldn't have the confidence I had. I wouldn't have had the experiences I had. I had to decide. I had to stop listening to other people. I had to stop. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let someone else put you in a box that defines you. Don't listen to that. You be you, you do you, you be on your journey, and remember to have blinders on and look where you want to go. You know, Summer talks about the kind of house she wants, the kind of experiences she wants for her kids, the kind of life she wants for her family. She wants chickens, she wants ATVs, she wants fire pit, and she wants people over. Those are memories, those are experiences, those are things that people connect with. Those are like, emotional things. If I was listening to her, I would say, I want that too. I want to go to that party with her. I want to be at that fire pit. You know, I want to be riding that ATV with them and chasing the chickens. I want that. For us, we wanted to be on the water. And it's funny because I didn't understand how much I wanted to be on the water until I was really in a dark place. And that's where I went to find peace. I would drive myself and my Shakeology, no lie, you can look back at my pictures, to the beach. And I would sit there and just listen to the waves. And that's when I knew where I wanted to be. I didn't know how we were going to get there. I didn't know when we were going to get there. Nothing. I just knew that someday I wanted to be close to the water. My husband wants to live in the mountains. I kind of went on this one. But for now, I didn't have a vision until just like a year ago. I just knew that I wanted to keep growing and keep providing a life for my family and getting us out of debt. And, you know, it was bite-sized things. So your vision might not be this grandiose thing where you have a retirement plan or you have this house for generations and your whole family is coming to it. It might be small, but make sure you have vision. Make sure you know why you're showing up every day. Make sure you know where you want to go every day. It's not just, I'm going to invite you and sell you a challenge pack and I'm going to encourage you. It's so much more than that. And we've got to hold on to that. There has to be more to this. Do you want to be able to give your income back and build homes for people, fill backpacks for school kids? Do you want to be able to buy bikes? Our church did that for pastors in Ethiopia. You know, do you want to do more? Do you want to be able to outfit a family for Christmas and provide everything that they have needed because their house burned down? Like, I want you guys to hold on to those things as your vision. Not so much, I want the house, the picket fence. I want to make a difference. I want to make a lasting impact. And this is the avenue and the road to help me get there. So I just want to make sure that this means more to you. And that's where the vision comes into play. So going to Super Saturday, going to Summit, being together, super important. But if you don't have a vision for what you want to do with this business, you're walking around blind, deaf, mute. You don't know what you want to say. You don't know what you want to accomplish. You don't know what you want to, the message you want to give to people. And so that vision has to be there. And it's like, if you need to write it on a poster board, if you need to put it on your phone as your screensaver, if you need to do alarms every day so that throughout the day, you're reminded of your vision. You know, some of us are stubborn and hard-headed and need to be reminded of stuff all the time or else we get frazzled. So I want to make sure that that's the stuff we're focusing on as we're getting into July, the middle of the month. People are on vacation. I'm doing a group for people who are traveling and getting amazing response from flight attendants and people who are making excuses for why they can't work out because they're going to be away for 3 weeks. And I'm like, hey, guess what? I work out with a laptop and Wi-Fi every day, and I'm going to be traveling too. Let's do this together. Literally like 20 people. But just talking to them and being like, there are no excuses. There's no reason why you cannot show up for you, and I'm going to show you why and how. So getting through, talking about getting back to school, we can't act like this doesn't happen every year, that people act the same way every year. And I mark my words, in August, they will be focused on school clothes and school supplies, and they will not have the time or the investment for themselves. You've got to think about the fact that there's no good time. No good time. When school starts and you have that freedom and you're finally staring at yourself going, had way too many cocktails and spent way too much time at the buffet and that cruise we went on, dang, that really left an impact on my thighs. You know, whatever. You've got to start thinking people are going to be ready to make changes. And you've got to start thinking about, you know, the conversations you need to have. But back to vision. Gosh, I could really get on a tangent here and plan out the rest of our year, huh? Maybe we should do that. Or challenge groups for the rest of the year. But right now, we're talking about vision. We're talking about where we want to go. We're talking about where it is that our bus, our energy bus is headed. And the people who want to get on your bus are the people who want to connect with you and where you want to go. And so that's what I kind of want to leave you with is put that out there. Put it out there that I'm going here. I am on a mission to work with people who are focused on what? Where is it? What is your vision? What does you want to do? People are going to gravitate and connect with that. They're not going to connect with, hey, join my challenge group and buy this challenge back. They're going to connect with, I am headed in this direction. Who's joining me? Who's on my bus? Who's coming with me? And you're going to paint such a beautiful, clear picture that they can't help but want to be a part of it. So, oh, now I see the rest of you. Look, you've been hiding. Oh, you're all eating. That's not fair. All right, and last thing is I'm going to read you a couple of quotes. I love seeing your faces. Aw. Okay, this is from For the Love. I love this book. And yes, it's a chapter called On Women. So sorry. Wait, I thought Jason. Oh, that's Jason's iPad. That's Stephanie. I was like, we have a guy on our call. Y'all, hey. That was Joshua. Okay, so I can totally say this as women. But dudes, if you're watching this, it's for men and women, all right? Just think about those people who raised you. It's probably why I value my girlfriends so much, although I didn't know to credit mom and grandma until later. In my world, this was how This is how grown-ups did it. You and your best friends handled every matter life slung at you. You jointly raised a bunch of kids, and once they were grown, you still had each other, plus an impending slew of grandbabies, sons, daughters-in-laws, clean homes for the first time in 25 years. I like that because it talked about coming together as like a team, as a tribe, and working together. Seriously. I missed the whole chat. But the last thing that I wanted to talk about was what anybody can do. I don't care where the heck you live. I don't care your social economic standing. I don't care your education level. I don't care. Sister, come near and listen. You're smart and capable, strong and wise. You have so much to offer. You can gather your girlfriend tribe and raise kids together, providing the happiest childhood they ever complained about. Really going through that right now. You can crack open your Bible and preach good news for the poor. You can model faithful friendship around your table. This is my favorite part. You ready? You can stretch your hand across oceans to mamas everywhere. You can do small work. You can do big work. You are so able in Jesus, so beloved, so permitted. I'm just saying. We really have no limitations other than the ones that we set up in our own minds. Honestly, I truly believe that. That self-limiting behavior, that negative self-talk, that allowing negative voices to come into our head, we have no reason to live in fear, in doubt. No, because right there, you can do small work, you can do big work. You really can do anything you set your mind to. And it all starts with vision, mindset, and filling this with the right positive thoughts, talk, word. Seriously. So, I'm going to take another shower now. Y'all have any questions you want to chat? Here. I'm going to enable it so that you can unmute yourself because I unmuted everybody last week and it was a fiasco. Where is it? Manage participants. Okay, if you guys want to unmute yourself, have at it. If you need to go, you can go. I'm going to stop recording.